Loach.
Live in the building.
Yo, DJ!
That's how we do it.
You're in the mix.
You're in the mix with Not For The Weak Pod.
Welcome to commercial-free radio.
It's not radio, dumbass.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's make some noise.
On the troll.
The show will begin.
Song for my business. If you ever get a chance to listen to it, it's
as a 90s baby, it sounds like I have to. It sounds like a perfect Saturday too.
Oh no, but say listen. As a child of the 80s and growing up in the 90s, it's my favorite song by him, and that song's like 13 years old.
All right. So, man, Kendrick is he's like one of the greatest of all time. But you know who's the greatest of all times? And you brought it to my attention.
Marshall Mathers.
The greatest African American black.
I was saying the greatest. Oh my God, we've had
wrestler of all time, bro, is hands down, without a doubt, not even close to anybody in any of this sports entertainment is close to this man and his achievements. Booker T, bro. I thought this.
I was saying, listen, the article I read, I started looking at that article, or I saw an article on Facebook the other day that just said, as a poll that went out, that Booker T was labeled the greatest African-American wrestler of all time. And as soon as I saw that, it made me start to really think about, you
was ready to argue, basically, right?
I was saying, no. Well, there's still a little couple things in which I was thinking of, because as soon as I said that, I got the thing about Ron Simmons and something that I completely and utterly forgot about.
Him being the first black champion.
Being the first black champion. And I knew it. It was in the back of my mind. And if you can't hear me, I've been sick all week. And so I've been running through all of these crazy videos on like everything since it's WrestleMania season, and I get like completely into wrestling. So like top 100 list and random moments and things like that. And this morning, it brought up WCW's greatest things. And it brought up, the fact that Ron Simmons won his first World Heavyweight Championship inside of that article, inside of that interview. And, showing Harlem Heat and Booker T and everything and what he's done for the sport in itself, actually. And sitting down and thinking about that for the last few days, I'm going to have to say that I actually do agree with that.
I'm in the same boat as you. Like, the first thing that I thought when they said the greatest black wrestler of all time, I went straight to Ron Simmons. Like, oh yeah. Ron Simmons was the first black champion ever, and he is.
And the things that he did,
but that was in one promotion.
Yeah,
that was just all right. Granted, that was cool. He was the first black champion in WCW. He won it against Vader, I believe, in '92 or '93. And
I think it was '93.
Yeah, it was great, awesome. I hands down in history, that will be in history. But of all time, I don't see it. Like, Booker was 5-time WCW champion. And then he was
5-time and then 1-time
WWE. And then on top of that, the most who has a better ass whipping than Booker T? Like, who took a better ass whipping than that man? Like, nobody's ever took such a fucking
the thing that they did in the church.
Yeah, the thing that they did in the church, the thing that they did in the grocery store, like that is stuff that is always gonna, like, that's stuff that will bury anybody else. if you
That
put
will
Ron
live forever.
Simmons, and if you put Ron Simmons in that same spot that you put Booker T, he would be a jobber for the rest of his life.
I would agree to that.
Booker T was king of the ring, and
Mhm.
that came out with King Booker.
Mhm.
Booker T was a tag team champion with who who didn't he make? Yeah, Goldust, Kane, fucking just he had so many different fucking partners where it was like, all right, he had the tag team on lock. Then he had his little intercontinental and US title run and shit like that.
He was a
like,
Grand Slam champ?
Is he?
I don't know.
I don't think so. But he's a 2-time Hall of Famer. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's all around. Like, he did stuff in different promotions. Now, we're not gonna front and not say what he was doing in TNA wasn't fucking crazy, especially with the white snow or black snow, or like, yo, bro, I love Booker T. Like, meeting him in person was
I bet you
experience.
that was in it. No, just hearing him on TV and all that stuff, seeing that man in real life would probably be like a dream come true.
Great commentary on NXT. He's super entertaining. This dude he's the whole package, and he's still going. Like, he's still entertaining us. Like, Ron Simmons,
and he's training the next generation.
Exactly. Like, Ron Simmons, we love him. He's a part of our childhood. He's APA forever. He's Acolytes. He is Farouk. You know what I mean?
Damn.
Yeah, but that's all he like. If we want to think about if we don't think about him being the first black champion, the first thing we think about is damn. You know what I mean? But when we think of Booker is five-time. You know what I mean? We got 5-time champion. We have when he's really a 6-time champion. We have the Spinneroonie. You know what I mean?
We Booker. We got
G.I. Joe. Like, we got fucking King Booker. We got the Booker T from Harlem Heat. We got the shit. We got so many shades of Booker, and he was able to like move with the time. You know what I mean? And he wasn't just stuck on one thing. Not saying that Ron Simmons was, but Ron Simmons came out as a fucking gladiator for Sonny. You know what I mean? Like, I
remember that.
Like, Booker T came back and injured Stone Cold his first night and still was the top guy. Like, could you imagine being a dude coming from WCW hurting the top dude in WWF and E and still getting your spot? That means you deserve that, bro. So Booker T is...
I would, as I said, after sitting down and really, thinking about that and, going through everything, because, I talk to certain friends and they say, why don't you just say it's The Rock?
He's not.
And I'm like, and I said, no, and I sit there and I'm like, yeah, but when it came down to the, when those two was in the same ring together, I found myself gravitating more towards Booker T than I ever did The Rock. And I started thinking about those things as I did. I'm not gonna lie. When it came down to Rock and Austin, I was Austin, and Rock could have took a back seat. That's just personal preference.
I would never. Back in the days, I would have never chose Booker T. Booker T was very entertaining, and he's just a guy that he grows on you. Even my wife. My wife.
That's why I said he grew on me. He grew on me. King Booker is what got me. She hated Booker T, and slowly but surely, I was showing her old shit and everything. Yeah, she's like, "Well, he's good, but I just hate his voice." And then she met him in person, and is like, all right, this is my dude forever. Like, I love this dude. Like, who doesn't love Booker T, bro? Right.
And I think Booker T got a body, and he used to rob niggas back in the days. Like, for real.
I believe so. I would say I think I saw a little bit of his backstory going into some of that.
Yeah. Like, Ron Simmons, he has an NFL background. You know what I mean? He was playing, I think, for the Chargers or some shit like that. And
wow.
yeah. But that's about it. Like you was a great college like and athlete, but Booker was out here really like sticking niggas the fuck up, and then came back and gave back to the community of wrestling because he got the reality of wrestling out there in Texas.
Mm-hmm.
So he's given us people like Zilla and there's a couple other female.
There's a couple in NXT.
Yeah, there's a whole bunch in NXT. I think Raquel Rodriguez is one of them, or not Raquel Rodriguez.
This is Stephanie Baker,
NXT champion,
and Stephanie Baker.
I'm pretty sure that's one of them too. But yeah, bro, you get that coming from that. So he's a whole legacy, bro. He's a whole fucking legacy. And then let's not even forget his wife is royalty in the Hall of Fame as well, Charmel. So like everything about Booker is royalty. So I agree with that. That is not an argument. You can argue with your mother because I asked every fan that I thought, and we ran it down, and it's like Junkyard Dog.
Oh my god! I mean, that was Junkyard Dog was when I was a kid. Junkyard Dog and Coco Beware were the two people that I watched in general as a kid. But as far as the greatest, I wouldn't put them in that conversation at all. But as far as entertainment, I love those two, man.
Entertainment wise, yes, they're there, but they
but
don't
as far
have
as
that
impact, no impact.
Right. And then you go as far as you saying The Rock, but I would have to disagree because The Rock isn't all African, and he doesn't claim his African side.
No,
he doesn't claim the black side.
Yeah. Until he gives a nice tribute to his dad, stuff like that. So no, they're playing with the Samoan thing. Then they started looking at the new people like a Ricochet or like these street profits, man. Those guys, man.
You know what? I really forgot about Bobby Lashley. To Booker T. I mean, Bobby Lashley was a 2-time champion, and he was an ECW champion. Yeah. Was he a TNA champion?
I believe so.
Ooh. And then he went to Bellator too, I think, with the MMA.
Yeah.
I think you might have a runner up with Bobby Lashley, bro.
I would say I don't put Bobby Lashley underneath the greatest thing. It's because his career is still going. And he has all the time in the world in order to build himself. But I could see him in that conversation, given a few years and seeing what he does.
See, here's where I just have to really think about that, because I love Bobby Lashley, and that's a great, I might have, but even though Bobby Lashley might have that stat over Booker, it's like Booker still got entertainment and the charisma.
Booker got he got the entertainment. He's got the main event quality. He can put a company on his back and actually carry the thing. And when they tried to do that with Bobby, we got MVP.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's a very interesting conversation when you sit down and look at them all, in a whole circle of it. But I now, as sitting down and really talking about this, you can see how different Booker was when he came into it and what his value actually did for not just the WWE, but for what it did with WCW.
Look at the list that we have here with the guys that could be. This is the list that they got of the WWE African American wrestlers. We have Booker T, at number 1. Mark Henry, The Rock, Junkyard Dog, R-Truth, Kofi Kingston, Ron Simmons, Bobby Lashley, Bobo Brazil, New Jack, Devon Dudley, Stevie Ray, Coco Beware, Xavier Woods, MVP.
It was a 30 list, right?
Nah, this is just all the black wrestlers.
Okay.
Jay Lethal, Thunderbolt Patterson, Viscera, Virgil, Flash Funk, All Man Johnson, The Godfather, D'Lo Brown, Scorpio Sky, JTG, oh man, Boogeyman. I don't see none of these guys really being better than So,
like I said, an argument 5 years from now,
maybe
7 years from now, 10 years from now, we could probably talk about a Bobby Lashley. But as far as the rest of that list, yeah, I would be in agreement that I don't think any of them had a bigger impact than Booker.
That's a fact, man. And I think that's case closed right there, man. We ain't even got to talk about this no more. Did you watch last night?
I watched SmackDown last night. I watched a few of the matches. I watched Charlotte and B-Fab, so I watched the Tiffany Stratton and Charlotte Flair beatdown.
That wasn't. I didn't like that. The Tiffany Stratton versus Charlotte Flair. First of all, Tiffany is a Barbie, and Charlotte is. I get it. Charlotte is who she is, but I don't really like this one, bro. Because Tiffany is supposed to be the heel, and I would want Charlotte to be the baby face. But it's the other way around, and now they got these chicks brawling, and they're not. That's not even their character. So is it me, or when I started watching that fight last night, it looked more like spots than a fight. What I mean is, like, when they were going being pulled back by security, I'm like, y'all could have just been standing there and giving yourselves cues and looking like you're about to go and try to rush another human being. First of all, I want to know how these motherfuckers got jobs as security guards if it takes 30 people to stop 2 women, bro.
You know that's the WWE.
I understand, but they don't want to insult our intelligence. But I know damn well
they could have had 2 guys in there and just did the whole thing that they did.
Your security, your fucking security, and you're struggling with 2 women. How is this happening? And it's 30. It's not women's security. They don't have female security there at all. It's 30 grown ass, future potential wrestling ass men, bro. I'm gonna stop 2 petite ass wrestling women, bro. I hated that whole spot. It's stupid. They need to get rid of it for the women's spots. It's not a good look, bro. It's not a good look.
Or if they want to keep that in the future, find a way in order to really make it look realistic.
No, what they need to do is leave that security shit for the men and do that whole wrestler, bring all the women. You remember back in the days when they used to bring all the wrestlers and shit? Bring all the women down. Bring all the women down. Try to stop it. And
that would have actually made that a lot better yesterday if it was all the female wrestlers.
It would have made more fucking sense. Yeah. Bro, it's 30 men not able to stop 2 fucking women, bro. And your security.
Yeah. So I was saying, like I said, that one's going to be interesting. I have what I normally call my bathroom break match for WrestleMania. And this probably might be that match. But
I mean, we got 2 days, so you think that this is going to be the worst match out of 2 days?
I'm not going to say it's going to be the worst match because we don't even know all the matches in which they're going to have. But as far as all the world championship matches, no, this one's on the bottom.
Okay, so we have Io versus Rhea versus
Bianca.
We have Charlotte and Tiffany. Jay. I think Jay and Gunther is going to be the most boringest match.
Okay, so I was looking at last night, and I saw the little interactions between Gunther and Jimmy Uso, and seeing how that's going, and looking at. I personally don't like it. And I'm not going to say I understand it, but it looks like they're trying to play this whole brother thing. And I don't even know why they're doing that aspect anyway. But I'm wondering if this is going to bring back that viciousness of Gunther he had when he was the IC champ. If this is going to open up a side of, Jey Uso we haven't seen before. Will this match surprisingly steal a show because of two men's utter determination in order to not want to suck? I mean, it is very, very hard to tell right now when it comes to all of that. But that would be second to the bottom of my list.
Well, here's the thing with the Gunther and Jey Uso. We have things called sponsor matches. You remember the Mountain Dew and all of that, and things like that. Let's be clear. Jey Uso is in this spot not because of Roman Reigns, not because of anybody but himself. Jey Uso made himself the fuck hot. They are doing a money grab with this guy. They know that they don't really want him as champion. They would not. He's a tag team guy. If they put the title on Jay, it's simply because it's a money grab. Women love Jey Uso. Love this man. I'm talking about, they obsess about him. Some women love Jey Uso and don't even find him attractive. They just love him for his personality. They just, you know what I mean? That's just Jay. Jay is so lovable and so easy to like that it's like, okay, no matter what we do with this dude, even if we have him as the chaser or even as a temporary transitional champion, thank you. It's gonna be money. Because
here's a question. And it's the only thing I can think of with Jey Uso right now. So, would you compare this to what they did with Daniel Bryan and what they did with Kofi Kingston?
No, because those dudes didn't have a fighting chance. Those dudes were like, they weren't believable at all. There was no way, you know what I mean? This one is just a clear money grab. This is the most popular dude versus a heel. That's it. We love this when they pan out that shot, that camera, and everybody in the audience is doing the yeet shit. They got Charlotte Flair doing the yeet, Rhea Ripley doing the yeet. Everybody does the yeet, and I was there when they first did the yeet. When Cody brought him back and he had to come back to SmackDown and shit like that. And I was there when we first did that shit, and I seen it in person for the first time, bro. The shit is it's something different because it's not like a niggas in concerts, bro. You can't go to a Jay-Z concert and seeing motherfuckers do this, bro. Ain't no way. Niggas is too cool for rap to enjoy themselves. So when you go out there and you see 10,000, 20,000, 60,000, 70,000 people waving their fucking hands up and down to this man, going crazy, it's almost impossible not to give him a title shot. So, because you know they're gonna buy the merch, you know that they were invested because this is the guy that we want. So yeah, I guess you have you have shades of the Daniel Bryan because this is our guy. This is the guy that we want to win. But I'm Jey Uso the fuck out. I said this weeks ago. I'm Jey Uso'd out. I'm yeeted the fuck out. I'm good. I want him to lose at Mania.
So I am still on the fence. I don't know. I personally can see both sides of it.
So let me explain what's gonna happen. See, in Mania, they're splitting it up because in Mania, now you can leave happy in some which way. So what's gonna happen is we're gonna get Jey Uso probably as the champion because we're gonna get John Cena as a champion. So they're not gonna have two heels, Gunther and John Cena, even though I would love that. Gunther and John
would
Cena.
be interesting.
Yeah, but it's gonna be a Jey Uso, John Cena thing.
So you think all champions strips their belts at WrestleMania?
No, Tiffany retains. Bianca will get that. Who else?
Then I would say what, Jay and Cena.
Yeah, yeah. Other than that, yeah, I think Tiffany keeps her title, but everything else changed. Yeah,
I would say I would go with that one.
I think
it's this Jey Uso thing that still got my mind going because I can see this done either way. But that double heel Gunther Cena as champion does sound interesting in headspace.
Man, Gunther versus Cena at Survivor Series, turning Gunther into a babyface,
or Gunther versus Cena at Crown Jewel for that belt.
Oh, I think it would have to be Cody again, right? He would be defending it. Does he defend it?
Let's say so. I don't know how they're doing that because Cody is the inaugural champ. So does that mean he fights whoever the champ is? Does they make that a 3-way between him and the other two champions?
Ooh, Cena versus Gunther versus. Ooh. I just hope that they don't do Gunther dirty because Gunther, he loses to guys that he's not supposed to lose to, like a Sami Zayn or Dragunov or a.
Oh man, that match with him against Axiom last night actually was entertaining.
I like Gunther because Gunther, you don't need flashy moves and shit like that. He'll have he's just very old school. Mm-hmm. He's so well put together. I just like his look. I like the way he treats people. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. He'll look you dead in your face and be like, "Thank you for saying that, but I didn't need you to say that. I know this." Like that. Mm-hmm. Like what?
Or like when he looked at Jimmy last night, he was like, I just want to let you know that I tried everything in my power to prevent to do what I'm about to do. And I just want to tell you as a man that I'm doing this right now. Gave me really, really big old school vibes last night.
Yo, bro, it's just like this man is like, he is a monster. And the way that they portrayed him before Crown Jewel, like when he was going against Sammy, like he was worried and shit like that. Like, Gunther don't need nothing. I think they should have Gunther as the longest champion ever. Just because Gunther would run through everybody. I feel like Gunther needs to beat Jey Uso. And if they need to lose, if Gunther loses to anybody, it needs to be against Brock Lesnar. That's it. That's the only person in my eyes that could beat Gunther. Brock Lesnar versus Gunther in Survivor Series.
That would be a good match.
That would be a fucking awesome match, bro.
And
you know what? I hope
Gunther versus Roman would, and I'm gonna say, I know it's not in the conversation or anything, but a Gunther versus Roman sounds like a very interesting idea. Unfiltered, unholded. They both can just let go and let loose. I still got Gunther winning. But I can see a Roman in that situation.
If he goes against Roman, I can see him losing. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I love Gunther. I love Gunther. I spend $1,100 on a fucking belt because of that man. Like that is that dude right there. You know what I mean? So
Right.
he's official. I don't see too many people beating him, so I hope that he stays away from the Romans and the Brocks and the and the Cenas and shit like that, because those are the people that's gonna make his career just drop. You know what I mean? Where he's just a regular ass person. Like, if you give me the top 3 people I want Gunther to lose to, it'll probably be John Cena, Jacob Fatu, or Brock Lesnar.
Ooh, Gunther versus Jacob Fatu would be a really, really great match.
You couldn't put Jacob against anybody you put Jacob with. He's going to sell, bro. I was just talking to my wife about this morning. He's so good. He's not meant to be in the main spot. He's that fucking because if you put him in the main spot right now, bro, where does he go?
Yeah.
Where does he go? Let him just destroy everything. Don't put no titles on him. And then when you ready to put a title on him, put the Intercontinental title on him. No other title. Put the Intercontinental title on Jacob. And then after he loses that, directly after he loses that, he
goes right for the top.
Yes.
And you know, now that you said that, you don't really see that anymore. You know, people who, you start at the bottom and you fight and you claw and you scratch your way up to that first title. Let's say, the tag team title. And, you do that for a little bit of time and then you get rid of it and then you just continually just start to climb and then you're up to that Intercontinental level. And then you lose that Intercontinental title. And then instead of going to the top, you find your way to claw and you scratch your way and you're fighting and you're doubting yourself, but then you find that inner whatever to climb yourself to the top and put yourself on the top of the mountain. Yeah. I mean, looking at that, you can look at John Cena. When he first came on, the title in which he was going for first was that U.S. title.
Yeah.
And, he did that for how long? And then instead of going right from the U.S. title straight to the heavyweight title, he had his stuff in between and,
Well, you could technically say that they did that for Gunther. Because as soon as Gunther lost his longest title run for the Intercontinental, he went for the
straight for the World Heavyweight Championship.
Same thing with Bobby Lashley. Bobby Lashley lost that match.
And what was it, 2 months later?
Yeah, no, he lost that match. That same night, Miz cashed in, and then 2 weeks later, him and Miz had that match, and he became champion. So Bobby Lashley and Gunther. Technically, if you want to look at it, maybe if you want to look at Jey Uso in that way, because he won the Intercontinental and now
lost it, and now he's the main event of WrestleMania.
Yeah. So the last 3 people that really had that Intercontinental champion was, I don't know why they put it on Sammy, because Sammy didn't do shit. Listen, Sammy dethroned the Usos for the tag team titles when they had the double straps. Didn't do shit with it. Him and Kevin Owens didn't do shit with it. It looked like they were gonna do a heel turn and shit like that, and didn't do shit with it. Then he went and dethroned Gunther for the longest title run.
Yeah, how long he had that? And he lost
666 days.
He lost that pretty quickly to me.
666 days. I got the championship right there. It's in red. I love him. No homo. I love him, bro. Like that man right there, Gunther. I think people need to give him a lot more respect because he holds his spot down. He doesn't have to do the flashy shit.
I'm just gonna I'm gonna power bomb you until I actually get a pin, or a real naked choke you until.
Or I'm gonna smack the shit out of you, or I'm gonna drop kick you in the corner, or I'm gonna just splash you from the top. It's easy, simple moves that it's like this dude he's really good. He's really
him
really
taking
good.
him taking that Spanish fly last night. I'm like, Christ.
Yeah.
Man, yeah.
So let me ask you something, because I think you called it. CM Punk versus Seth Rollins in a cage match. You called it. I think we gotta run it back. You said, what if Seth Rollins versus CM Punk versus Roman Reigns?
I would say that's been my match since I saw the Elimination Chamber. It's, for me, it just seemed too ironic because, I mean, WWE leaves no detail unturned. And Seth Rollins double stomping Roman Reigns at the Royal Rumble, and then curb stomping him on the stairs, and then all the stuff that was happening with CM Punk in the center of all of that. My main question was, if Seth Rollins or CM Punk won that Elimination Chamber, then what happens to the other guy? And the only thing that came in my mind when it came to that is they're going to try to set up those three to wrestle each other.
Oh yeah. And this is how it's gonna be, bro. And I'm gonna let you go ahead. Just tell me what you got.
But I mean, through the course of that and looking into, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm not gonna say I forgot about it, but it wasn't nothing that I wasn't thinking of until you started talking about CM Punk asking Paul Heyman for that favor, to get into like the Money in the Bank, to have his last chance to get that championship. And sitting down and starting thinking about this, like, what is going to happen with Paul Heyman in the center of all of this?
I know. Pick me.
Okay.
I got this.
I was saying, go right ahead.
So listen. Remember that favor? Paul Heyman is going to get with CM Punk, right? And this is how I'm seeing it right now, because as soon as you started talking, when we started talking about this, I seen this. So Paul Heyman is going to turn on Roman Reigns.
Okay.
Roman Reigns is going to probably get probably be cool with Seth after this and everything, because this is how it's going to go. Paul's going to go with CM Punk, and CM Punk is going to sell his soul to The Rock.
So the 1,
the 2, and the 3 is going to be CM Punk, The Rock, and John Cena. And it's going to be CM Punk versus Gunther or Jey Uso. And there you go.
You want to hear some really crazy, just random things that I find on the internet?
What's that?
Some crazy person put up this whole crazy ad from, I guess, the out thing from the AEW event with Adam Copeland and John Moxley, and was talking about somebody closely attached to John Moxley is talking about coming back to the WWE.
And John Moxley.
Crazy. That was the crazy headcanon. And it was like, kind of, this could be the reassembly of the Shield, since they all used this curb stop in 24 hours to show solidarity. And I'm like, it doesn't make sense, because, John Moxley hates Triple H. And I don't really see, and for me personally, I don't, that's the point. I was like, I personally don't see it, but something like that will be a very, really interesting move, especially for a match of that caliber at WrestleMania.
Yeah, but you got to understand, if they bring Moxley back, even if they bring the Shield back, it wouldn't be, Moxley comes back. Yeah, it's like Moxley comes back and now we're the Shield. It will be, that's Moxley, that's Rollins, that's
the tribal chief.
Yeah, and you know what? For one night at WrestleMania, everybody comes to each other's aid, and we got the Shield. Like they're gonna build it up. It's not like Moxley's gonna automatically come back and do this and do that. It might be like, he's coming back and he might be fucking helping motherfuckers on the sideline, beating people up, and they don't know who the fuck it is. You know what I mean? Type shit. It's shit that they could do, but it's not just gonna be the Shield and everybody's gonna get the fucking vests and people coming through the crowd and shit like that. Roman is too big for that. I think Seth is past that, and I don't think Moxley will bring himself to be like, oh, I need you guys for this. You know what I mean? So I would think Moxley would want to make his own light before any Shield mention comes his way.
Yeah. So I mean that match. I mean, just and looking at money because I didn't get a chance to watch the match live.
Okay.
But I watched the replays of it and the clips and everything. And when I started seeing that Paul Heyman in the center of the ring with CM Punk and the way that he was consoling him and everything, and hearing what you were saying about the match and the favors and all that stuff, is like, Paul Heyman's going to play a bigger role in the match than most people think, and that turn sounds interesting enough.
He always does. He always does.
But then that goes to the question of what the heck happens to Seth Rollins in all of this, and the affecting of
he's the guy that he's going to be like, I told you so.
I would say, is he just a guy in the middle of a match that should really just be Roman Reigns versus CM Punk?
And once again, no, because you have it to where the stories intertwine, where it's CM Punk versus Rollins because of that hatred, but now it's CM Punk Rollins versus Roman because of the curb stomp, but then you got Roman versus CM Punk because of the favor. So now you can intertwine everything.
Or you still get Roman versus Seth because Seth cost him the WWE Championship that he had for 1,300 days.
There's just so many things that you could put in these stories, like where everything is kind of like you could play with it for the next couple months after Mania, the next year. You know what I mean? Because they got the shit with Drew McIntyre and Damian Priest, where I'm just like,
I saw that last night, and the Royal Rumble thing I knew, the Elimination Chamber thing I knew, but then when he started talking last night, it was like everything in which I could have had success on for the last year, you're the one that personally screwed me. Now I see Damian Priest versus Drew McIntyre at WrestleMania.
Exactly. It makes so much. Yo, bro, this is what I say when I say you gotta let Triple H cook, because he will pull some shit out of his ass from a year ago that we were not paying attention to. I don't know if he got that shit from Bray Wyatt. I don't know if he's just really that good, but like I don't know if you remember.
Or he had too many years of experience.
Yo, bro, because it's like when they had the Sami Zayn when he was on the Tribal Court. And they were bringing up all those old films for when he ran off on the Usos and shit. I'm like, yo, bro, like, how do y'all remember all of it? And it all just lines up to everything. Like, this Damian Priest versus Drew, it didn't really catch my eye. Not that I didn't remember all of this shit, but when you're talking about it and you're putting it all together and letting the story spill out, I want to see this. I want to see Drew McIntyre. I want to see Drew McIntyre hurt Damian Priest.
Or I remember saying this when we were talking about the Elimination Chamber and them actually letting Drew McIntyre just be the monster in which he came back to the WWE to be, and just let him go and be this monster and see where you go with this. I'm starting to like this unpredictable Drew McIntyre where he can just go out and beat you again. Yeah. And not sitting down and talking and crying and complaining, and just go and let your fists do the talking.
Yeah. I want him to start hurting people. Like really, really, really hurting people. I want him to put some people out. I want him to start sending motherfuckers back to NXT. Get the motherfuckers that don't belong here out of here through Drew McIntyre. Damian Priest, not nice. Yeah, not that Damian Priest or anything like that but Damian Priest needs to get out so we can start missing him. So when he comes back, it's like, oh my God, it's Damian Priest.
I would say Damian, and I would agree, Damian Priest needs a buildup.
Yeah.
And with the processing of that buildup, it's how do you do that buildup? Do you treat him like a Baron Corbin?
Yeah. Yeah, because Damian Priest was a champion that really didn't do anything. He was literally a transitional champion that you could see that they were really trying with. I didn't really see it in him. Maybe it was because it was his first times and he had the BGs, but I didn't see it. Now, if you go back, injure him, work out, find a new hairstyle, find a new, like maybe like a enhancement on your gimmick. And yeah, bro, like tighten up your mic skills a little bit more and then come back after a couple months, maybe come back at the Rumble. Then it gives you oh shit, he's been out since whenever, you know what I mean? Like take him out at Mania. So it's a big thing. Bring him back at the Rumble. So that way, even if he doesn't win the Rumble, him and Drew could pick this all back up and he'd be a contender in that heavyweight championship. But yeah, Priest is one of those guys that needs to get out of here. I feel like Drew McIntyre needs to injure everybody in the LWO. Everybody. Like have Dominique hire him and destroy everybody from the LWO and do not bring them back. Send them to NXT, send them to TNA, and yeah, bring Bray back by himself. Yeah, bro, I'm done with LWO.
I'm like I said, I'm not the biggest fan of the LWO myself. It's going to be interesting because I was seeing that Selena Vega wants to try to fight for that women's U.S. title now, and I can see them putting her against Chelsea at WrestleMania, which is going to be interesting in itself. But no, I'm in agreement with you. I mean, they're not really doing nothing. They remember the Blue World Order?
Yes.
That's what they remind me of.
No.
They're just there to actually just pick up. I liked the Blue World Order.
I did too. That's why I'm saying no.
I was saying no. I really liked the Blue World Order, but underneath the same pretense, if they weren't there, it wasn't like you would miss them.
You know who they remind me of? Oh my God, it's on the tip of my tongue. Pause. What the fuck is their name? What was the Audio? Remember they had that big dude Kirk and Golda and fucking Luna and what the fuck was their name?
I know. Wait. Hold on. Oh God.
I gotta look it up. Hold on.
Because I know this. Why can't I think of it?
Jesus Christmas. It's it's something with an A, bro. The Oddities? Is it the Oddities?
I pulled up a list here. I'm going through it real fast.
What group?
Let's see if I can actually remember what it is
in WWE. The Oddities. Yep, the Oddities. It was called the Oddities, bro.
That was late 90s, early 2000s, right?
Yeah. It was the Oddities. It was with the Jackal, Silva, Golga, Shaggy 2 Dope, Luna, Saber was in there. Jesus. Yeah,
I remember this. Like I said, I remember this group.
They was only there for a year. They had the Insane Clown Posse with them.
Yeah, I was saying. Okay, yeah, I remember.
That's who they were. And you know what? No, because they were more entertaining. I don't like LWO. That's
They're
the
not
whole point of this
NXT.
fucking segment. Fuck them. Take them back to NXT. We don't want to see them. They are not worth any of our entertainment or TV time. Thank you, Triple H.
Thanks for the try again. Yeah,
Thank you for the support of the Latin community, but we rightfully so reject these motherfuckers. All of these motherfuckers, bro. But what else we got going on? We have the John Cena versus Cody Rhodes interaction that's going down on Monday. I cannot wait.
Okay. The way that they're going about this and Cody and his processing of going through this, seeing him do what he did last night, what do you think about that?
When he knocked the shit out of Miz and then he just was like basically calling him out. Here's my thing. The fact that Cody keeps facing these dudes that don't have to show up, it says a lot, bro. Like, Cody doesn't have an opponent that shows up every week. Like, Cody has to do this shit himself. He has to sell these tickets by himself because when he faced Roman wasn't showing up every week.
No,
Roman wasn't even him. Yeah, Roman was just.
This is why everybody got tired of the damn story, because every week it was some re-edition of talking about this story. And I agree with that.
I just hope that we can get enough Cena to where it's like, I want you to win the championship. Now, this is me coming from a dude that 3-4 weeks ago was just saying, why is this motherfucker in my face? I don't like Cena. I am not a fan of John Cena. I've never been a fan of John Cena, nor will I ever be a fan of John Cena. But I'm willing to give him a try right now.
Yeah.
I'm willing to see if he comes
for some. What is it that he comes with something different, that if he is champion, that this championship run that he has will be different than the other 16 times when he had to please the WWE universe in order to be that champion, or a chance for him to really show what his aggression is. Those kind of things.
I think he's going to bite off of Roman Reigns. I really, truly believe if they put the championship on Cena, Cena's only going to show up on the go-home shows to any fucking pay-per-view or PLE, and then we're only going to get him on PLEs.
So I saw his schedule, or at least it was something online that said what his schedule is going to be for the next 2 months. Or 3 months. I think it was until June. And
yeah, but fucking would have seen it. That's subject to change, bro.
I would say that's the point. But it was like, it was like 11 shows in which he was going to be at, including Monday and Friday on SmackDown. And I was like, that's a pretty extensive list for the processing of what Cena's doing, but. It'd be interesting if he comes on and does that stuff. Is he actually, and I'm starting to think about it, is he going to wrestle on a SmackDown? Is he going to wrestle on a Raw? Or as we're thinking, he's just going to, wrestle at SummerSlam and wrestle at Crown Jewel. And so it's going to, so when it comes down
heel. That's the point.
Right.
Like,
is he going to come out on a random week, with nobody knowing, just going randomly beat down a Damian Priest or somebody like that?
Nope.
So it's going to be interesting.
Nope, because that's the thing. Like, you get that with a baby face. Oh my God, it's a prize because he's here and shit like that. With a heel like John Cena, it could be announced and it's still going to be just as big, especially with him being a heel and him being a champion. So, I mean, I'm here for it, bro. Like, Cena and CM Punk, they're real cool. So why not sell their souls? And didn't Cena say some shit where it was like, if it was me, I would have sold my soul like that. You wouldn't have to ask me. And then Cena was also on a podcast with Ice Cube's son, where Ice Cube's son was like, yo, bro, I wasn't really fucking with you last year, but you know, I kind of like you now because you're a good guy. And Cena was like, give it 6 more months.
No,
So-
I didn't see that.
Yeah, so
I can see that, but I'd say that's like that. That's like that. That interview I saw. You know, will you ever go hill? It's inevitable. It was always meant to be. If you really sit down and think about it, but you know, sitting down and going through this processing of what we're going to think heel John Cena is going to be is only going to be what we can think until we see what he does on
exactly. Well, my brother, we're gonna have to see. This is the road to WrestleMania, and we're gonna cover it, man. We'll be going live on WrestleMania. We'll be doing a giveaway. We are giving thanks to our sponsors.
Speaking of, I got to do some talking, but I might have a little bit of a thing for WrestleMania.
Yeah, we're gonna have some surprises on WrestleMania, man. Thanks to our sponsors, man. We're gonna have a giveaway, man. Our sponsors, y'all through Cyber Creations. We create the vibes. If you need your hair, your hat, your shirt, pants, shoes,
You want to play?
cups. Hey man, we do everything, man. We got the Borough Cafe coffee cups out there, man. We got the not for the week t-shirts, we got the hats, we got all of that, man. Thanks to y'all through Cyber Creations, man. If you want a good quality clothing brand and you're trying to get those nice prices, holla at her, man. Y'all through Cyber Creations. And you already know not for the week everything with me, man. But yo, Shy, you let them know where they can find you, my brother.
I was saying on Facebook for Shaw U, or my regular Facebook page under my name, Shaw McGee. I'm on Instagram underneath Shaw U Original, TikTok underneath Shaw U. Other than that, I am around. You know, support local businesses.
Let's go.
Stuff like that. But no, other than that, everybody be safe, and we will catch you guys.
We out of here, man. Catch us again next week, man, on Not for the Week. We go over all of the motherfucking highlights of WWE. Holla at your motherfucking boys.